Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the MLB. So y'all check this out. Let's talk a little bit of Shohei Ohtani. Y'all know I like to call him Shohei Ohtani. People got on me about that. Man, stop calling him Shohei because he's Shohei Ohtani. I know it's Shohei Ohtani, but Shohei, you know, he's got a lot to show. And whatever he show is at a high, high, high level. You know what I'm saying? Showing high. But anyway, Shohei Ohtani, man. What else can we say about this guy? Listen, Shohei Ohtani is probably going to get the next MVP, right? Of the National Major League Baseball. He's going to probably get the National League MVP. And it's starting to become unfair. Last year he got it by doing something we've never seen before. How often do we say this when we're talking Shohei Ohtani? Something we've never seen before. 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases in a season that he was rehabilitating, right? Rehabilitating from Tommy John surgery so he can pitch again, right? This year, they just coming in, pitching them in spurts, a little bit like 1-2 innings at first, these 3. I think he went up to about 4 or 5 innings. We're in the playoffs now. We're not going to talk about playoffs at all. We're talking just regular season. And he pitched at a pretty high level already, right? You can see that this guy is a upper echelon pitcher, right? He's an upper echelon pitcher, one of the better pitchers, definitely. I'm not going to say the very, very best, but he's one of the better pitchers. He's definitely worthy of being a starter, an ace, which is telling you that he's top-notch pitcher, right? But we're going to take the pitching out of the equation. This year, if he was just hitting again. Now, he wasn't stealing the bases this year, obviously because he's pitching again, right? And I think he was just trying to show everybody this is what would happen if I was a one-way player, right? I still base at a high level. I'm batting leadoff with power. How many people bat leadoff with that much power? Hitting 50 home runs, right? But I'm just going to show y'all what I could do. That's why he did the 50-50 on us, something we've never seen. This year he slowed down on the base stealing unless it was definitely needed, so he can get in scoring position or something like that. But he wasn't really just stealing just because I'm going to steal on y'all, right? Because he's pitching again. All right. Does it at a high level. The guy gets 55 home runs. Second most in the National League. Only Schwarber, my man over here in Philadelphia, the only other guy up for the MVP with him, he had 56. Schwarber had more RBIs, but obviously your boy Shohei is batting leadoff. You know what I'm saying? Leadoff. And he got 100 RBIs, which only a few people have done. A handful. A high RBI, 100 RBIs from the leadoff position. Mookie Betts is one of them. But maybe let's say about 10. In the history we're talking. He's got about 100 RBIs. He's got more runs than ever. I don't know how many, of over 150 runs. It's something also, it's in the stratosphere. Probably, either the most or the top 10 in history in runs scored. So he's done that. Right? So he's going to probably get the MVP because he just put sprinkle a little pitching on top of it. Then that secures it. Which brings us to the point of, they're going to probably have to do something with that MVP. Two-way players or something. I don't know what they can do for this guy, but it's not fair because the other guys is having normal good seasons are out the equation because Shohei Ohtani is already take the pitching out and he's already, what's up with him and Schwarber? Because his batting average is about 40 points higher. So his batting average is higher. Right, got more runs, and just missed by 1 home run. Right, we up in the same area, and a lot of the slugging percentages up there, and all of that. So just hitting is MVP level. Now you're talking about the rest with the pitching, that just puts it over the top, man. The dude is ridiculous, and when it comes to Shohei Ohtani, sometimes I think about, bro, I'm so happy that he's Japanese, right? I'm happy that he's Japanese because he's playing in New Russia. And, if he wasn't Japanese, man, if the dude was a brother, we couldn't probably just enjoy what he's doing. Just straight up, just enjoy what he's doing. All of us in unison, just enjoying what he's doing. No matter if you go pulling for the Dodgers or when he was at the Angels or whatever, just say, look at this, what we're seeing. This is awesome. No matter where, what's up. An American brother, they would have probably figured out how to tear him down, right? Something else. And I've seen this with other athletes that do extraordinary things. I can give you one right now that you pay attention to. Pay attention to Lamar Jackson, right? Pay attention to Lamar Jackson. If you've been watching football for 2 decades or more, right? Especially more than 2 decades, then you would know that at the quarterback position, there's not too many brothers. Wasn't. There's more and more. But you've never seen, let me start by Lamar Jackson saying this. When he came into the league, they didn't want him to be a quarterback. Wanted him to be a wide receiver or something else. Probably a defensive back as well. That's how fast he is. Wanting him to be a wide receiver or a defensive back. That's telling you those are the fastest people on the field. They want him to be that. But he said no. Got drafted real late. Just a slap in the face how late he got. I think it was the last guy in the first round or something like that. So, didn't want him to be a quarterback. Basically blackballed him. He got an opportunity, and he's a starting quarterback. That's already a success. A starting quarterback in the league from somebody who barely got drafted in the first round. No one excused himself. Sorry, man, we know we messed up. So, he's played 7 seasons, right? All you hear is what he can't do. All you hear is he hasn't won a Super Bowl, right? And they just harp on that. Like all the other quarterbacks, they ain't won a Super Bowl. It's about 45 people on the NFL roster. Everybody got to be pulling on the same thing. People dropping balls and fumbles and times when you shouldn't be doing it happen too, right? Quarterbacks that's won Super Bowls, right, don't mean they're better. You know what I'm saying? That's in all sports. If you've won maybe a whole lot of titles. As Robert Horry got 7 NBA titles. Is he better than Charles Barkley or Karl Malone? Although I love me some Robert Horry because he played with Hakeem Olajuwon, so he's going to always be in my heart. But I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? So it's, you're a product of, what happened, right? So when you're talking to Lamar, that's all they talk about. He's the leading rushing quarterback of all time right now, in the present, in his 7th season. Or it might be his 8th right now. All-time leading quarterback rusher. You've had more highlights from him than probably, it's only about 5 people in the history of football that got better highlights than he does. And he's still making them. You might be talking about like a Deion Sanders, a Barry Sanders, and then I'm, just getting, get thin at that point, because he's up there when you're talking about highlights, right? Now, because he's a running quarterback, and this is why I say, well, why Shohei Ohtani? Because of the dual threat he is, right? He was only a runner. That would be like if Shohei was only a hitter. But now they say he couldn't pass. Now he messed around last season and had the 4th best passer rating in the history. 4th best. Over 40 touchdowns with 4 interceptions, and neither of those 4 interceptions was his fault. Like the one he threw the other day. That was barely his fault. I'm going to give it to his fault because, he's trying to make a receiver. Sometimes you throw it there, and the receiver's supposed to make a play. Didn't happen. Okay, he got an interception. But he had to throw 10 touchdowns and 1 interception as we speak now. And he's having what they consider a bad season because of that one bad game, right? He's not allowed to have a bad game, right? Because every time he has a bad game, it's a crunch time game, and why he didn't win it. Just waiting like vultures until he makes a mistake. We're celebrating him. So we talking about one of the better passers in the league right now, and he's definitely the very best runner we've ever seen. And that's no slight to a Michael Vick. Come on now. Michael Vick, a Cam Newton. Are you crazy? Matter of fact, let's take it back to Randall Cunningham. You know what I'm saying? Cordell Stewart. We had some good runners now. You know what I'm saying? But this is what we got right now. Ridiculous. And he's one of the best passers in the league. And we tear him down. Right? And that's what would happen to Shohei Ohtani. They probably would have been figuring out reasons. They wouldn't have helped him with rules, so to enable him to pitch and then go out, finish pitching, and still be the DH, or figure out rules that he could still play. They would have been putting up roadblocks, right? And we couldn't just enjoy. We got somebody who can do this. Let's let him do this, right? Just like they do. It's just simple. It's a whole lot of stuff. I ain't going to get into it. But Barry Bonds should be highly revered more than he is. That steroids stuff we know what he did before steroids, and all these buses was taking them and doing stuff. And he just said, okay, well, if it's legal, then let me take the same stuff they're taking because it's legal at the time. And then let me show you what would happen if I did what y'all did. And then he put distance between him and the other dope guys. Similar to Lance Armstrong. I'm in a sport where everybody's doping. Right? So what, am I dope better than yours? No, I'm better than you. You doping, so I got to dope too. So either get all of the doping out and then go from there. Because before the doping was in, Barry Bonds was better than everybody then. Right? With a smaller head. So when we were doped, everybody got big heads running around here. But now I'm way better than y'all again because I'm doing what y'all doing. And everybody knows that. But they going to keep him out. But to keep him out, they got to keep everybody out. So this is the kind of thing. This is why I'm just happy that Shohei Ohtani is Japanese. So we can just sit here and enjoy the wonder this guy is doing. You know what I mean? I'm from LA, man, so I'm going for him too. But man, this dude could be playing anywhere. Just like, I wasn't a Baltimore Ravens fan, really. But I ain't missing the Baltimore Ravens. And that's like for 5 years. Because that guy is exceptional. I'm not missing when he's on the field. I'm not missing those games. Just like probably you don't go for the Chiefs anymore. You probably did when they start winning with Patrick Mahomes. You was like, damn, that's an awesome quarterback. Let me watch these games. Now they winning all the time. Now you're gonna start hating. That's a normal thing if you're not from Kansas City. But you was watching them at first. They're just winning so much. Now you're gonna start hating. That's just normal how we do. We sport fans. It's like, okay, well, cause I see myself now. Well, I kind of hope they lose this game. They too good right now. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna miss a Patrick Mahomes game. I'm not gonna miss a Lamar Jackson game. Right? And this is what it is. Because they're talented. Regardless of what team I'm going for, I'm going to take the time and watch them. He didn't play last week, and I think they got a bye this week. I'm mad as hell. Damn, man, because you be looking forward. I start Thursday. I'm already feeling good that Lamar going to play on the weekend. So he ain't from L.A. Got nothing to do with L.A. It's like, damn it, shoot, Lamar playing in about 3 days, man. I'm happy. Get ready for a game. That's because he's awesome like that. Let me tell you somebody else. You're going to be like, why he's in here? Russell Westbrook. When Russell Westbrook started getting triple-doubles, he's finished 4 seasons with triple-doubles. We had never seen that. Never. A guy 6'3", grabbing rebounds at that level, they start trying to tear it down like, why is he getting these rebounds? Right? And these are basketball pundits and analysts and stuff like that. Now, I coach. I know my stuff about basketball. Now, if I had a player like that had that much energy, and is faster than everybody on the court, has more athleticism, then I'm not going to put him in a cage and say, don't use your athleticism. Damn it, if you and Russell Westbrook are close to this rebound, Russell gets it because you fill the lane, because you know you can't shoot. So I want you getting transition baskets. I want you getting transition baskets. Those are get dunks and layups because he's going to run faster than everybody. So when he gets the rebound, he ain't getting the rebound and walking the ball up. Now, is he? Everybody understood that. Steven Adams and them boys back then, who he had? Horace Grant's son and them boys. They was running the floor, right? They was running the damn floor because they knew we going to get the ball. Russ getting that rebound, right? And we up out of here. So and they was trying to act like it was that way everywhere. He was in Washington, he was playing with, come on now, Alex Lynn, right, and stuff like that. And come on, bro, that team was ridiculous. It's him and D-leaguers because Bradley Beal was hurt all the time. He averaged their triple-double, and we start tearing them down. Why is he getting the triple-doubles? It's not that special. Right, and it was something we had never seen before since Oscar Robertson, black and white TVs, Bigfoot footage, stuff. That's when we seen that. This dude does that, and he's the baddest dude there. He got one MVP, but he didn't. We got tore down, And so I'm Laker. One dude I had Lakers gear on the other day, did a boxing video. Somebody, man, take that Laker gear. You hating on the Lakers. Man, I grew up in Inglewood, so. That ain't happening. I'm going to love my Lakers, but I'm not a big LeBron fan, and I sure as hell ain't a big Luka Doncic fan. Well, I'm still going to love my Lakers, you know. If it was up to me, I'm like, man, listen, y'all, I'll take it back. Lonzo Ball, which I'm not a big fan of, but whatever. Lonzo Ball, he plays defense. Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, Julius Randle, and my man here with the twin, Brooke Lopez and them. I would that team right there. What's up? With some good people coming from the bench, with your boy here that's in Washington right now. What? No, he's back in Milwaukee right now. The colorful dude, right? I forget his name. We could have rolled with that and let those guys develop. But okay, we had to go get LeBron. LeBron is all that. You know, he's 20 years in the league. He's in that GOAT conversation, whether you like it or not. 20 years playing at a high level like that. Got to give him some love, right? But I wasn't a LeBron fan because he was playing on other teams. Just like I wasn't a Michael Jordan fan because he was playing for other teams. You know, it's not that. You know, it's not like that. You know, it's just like, my team, damn, we coming to my team, I got to love you. And Luka Doncic, nothing against Luka Doncic, but I don't like players being considered the best in the league that don't play defense. That's just something that I have against the NBA because I know what the NBA was up to. I ain't going to get into that in this video, but it's similar to what I'm talking about with Shohei Ohtani being Japanese. Because the NBA, they plan this three-point shooting and don't defend it because mostly what Europeans do, right? They said it. They said the people in the stands don't look like the people on the court. We have to change that. They said that in the late 80s, right? Or early 90s. Just straight up said it. We got to do something about that. Hence, all this three-point shooting, you can't defend the damn shot either, right? And, now we're just calling players that aren't two-way players the best in the league. There's nobody in the league right now better than Giannis Antetokounmpo. Not. Sorry, Jokic. Sorry, Doncic. Sorry, anybody who's an offensive juggernaut, but we look for you. Now, if you was a decent defender, then okay, right? Because your offense is so awesome. But with the offense that Giannis Antetokounmpo has, high percentage scoring, running the floor, right? But on the defense, ain't nobody looking for a pick and roll and they isolate Giannis Antetokounmpo on the pick and roll. Oh, we got Giannis in the pick and roll. Even if you're 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, get Jokic or Doncic in the pick and roll. You are looking for them. So the best player in the league is not someone that you're going to be looking for in the defense. You understand? Once they get that defense up, I'm with you because I see that offense is ridiculous. And watching Jokic, I like him more than Doncic. Watching Jokic is just ridiculous. I love those players that are not so athletic, but I'm just smarter than y'all. So I'm a Jokic fan. But when you say the best player, if it's him or Giannis, I'm going with Giannis because Giannis is light years better than him in the defense, right? And that's where Jokic is a light years better passer, but Jokic is in the offense ridiculously awesome, but so is Giannis. And in the defense, Giannis is ridiculously awesome, especially for what you can play in today's NBA. And Jokic is smart. Right? So, I'm going to give him smart points because Jokic can still do some stuff because he's so smart, but he's not somebody, you're looking for him in a pick and roll. A 1, 2, or a 3 with the ball is looking to have Jokic sticking him. They're not looking to have Giannis. And that's what, for me, the best player in the NBA. But I'm an old school guy. You know what I'm saying? But the NBA did that on purpose, and I ain't rolling with it. So back to Shohei. Shohei Ohtani is the most ridiculous thing we've seen. And I've been watching for a long time, and I'm Barry Bonds all day, every day. I know what time that was, right? I saw how people just didn't want to even pitch to this guy. Man, get 1 or 2 pitches in a game. They should have changed the rules. People coming, traveling to go watch him play, and he's getting walked all day. I thought that was a travesty, right? If people would have pitched to this guy, let's not even go there. That's the only guy that comes in the conversation of getting with Shohei. After these seasons, to watch him run the bases, bat leadoff, first, second, third, or fourth, it doesn't matter. He would flourish in any of those positions. And the pitch on the level he's pitching, he's done everything. He's a consummate baseball player. We know he could play the field. We know that, man. We know he could play the outfield with that cannon he has of an arm and the speed that he has. We don't have to see it. We know he can do that too. This guy is ridiculous. And I'm glad that he's Japanese because in New Russia, we're able to enjoy it without the pundits and these TV shows that have to have a certain narrative. And it's that way, guys. They have to have this narrative, right? It is the way. If you're not looking, look at your political situation. You know, I'm not calling it New Russia for no reason, just to make you guys think what's going on. It's ridiculous what we're going through. And the media has done that. You're looking in the NFL right now. You know, they blackball Kaepernick, you know, for what he was trying to stand for, the message he was trying to give. It's just a positive message, actually. And we don't like Deion Sanders, so his son can't say anything. We're going to put him way on the bench. Don't just blackball him. They were trying to do it to Lamar Jackson, but we just talked about that. So, you know, this is the thing that, you know, brothers have to go through. And the only thing about brothers is brothers try to ignore a lot of them. You know, like it ain't happening and stuff like that. Or, hey, don't say this. Don't say this. You have to act this way. You have to get out of my face. Ain't nobody charging me. Who am I trying to please? Of some fool that's racist? Get out my damn face. If you have any spine, that's how you're going to think. But I understand, you know, you got to make money and, you know, you got to do what you got to do. But that submissive, subservient type of behavior, I'm not that guy. Because basically in New Russia, sport is BTBG, and that's beat the black guy, right? So at the end of the damn day, right, I am enjoying Shohei Ohtani, and I'm thankful that he's Japanese. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.